Welcome, this is the top 10 greatest heroes in Greek mythology. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, also known as the King of Macedonia, was a famous Greek king who came to the throne in the year 336 BC. He is widely regarded as being one of the most successful military commanders in all of history and was responsible for changing the face of the ancient world. Heracles. Heracles is one of the most recognized and famous of the divine heroes in Greek mythology. The son of Zeus and the mortal woman Alcmena, he was considered the greatest of the heroes, a symbol of masculinity, sire of a long line of royal clans and the champion of the Olympian order against terrible monsters. Heracles was known for his extraordinary strength, courage, and cleverness. Achilles. Achilles was a Greek hero, most famous for his part in the Trojan War. When he was born, his mother dipped him in the river Styx to make him immortal. She held him by the heel and it did not touch the water, making it the only part of him that could be harmed. Theseus. Not many heroes are best known for their use of silk thread to escape a crisis, but it is true of Theseus. The Greek demigod is known for feats of strength but is even better remembered for divine intelligence and wisdom. He had many great triumphs as a young man, but he died a king in exile filled with despair. Perseus. Perseus was one of the oldest out of all of the Greek mythological heroes. He is best known in Greek mythology as the slayer of Medusa, one of 3 female creatures, or gorgons, with hair said to be made of poisonous snakes. After his victorious defeat of Medusa and his marriage to Andromeda, Perseus continued back to Seriphos where his mother awaited. Upon his return, he quickly learned that King Polydex had been abusive to his mother Danae while he was away on his quest. Infuriated, Perseus brought the head of Medusa to the king, but instead of just giving the severed head to Polydex, he again used it as a weapon against his foe. Showing the king the head of Medusa gave him the same fate as Poseidon's sea monster and Phinus. This, in turn, made Dictys, the fisherman who raised Perseus, the new king since he was the brother of Polydex. Icarus. A young man named Icarus holds center stage in a very memorable tale from ancient Greek mythology. Even today, some people recount this story as a cautionary warning. Overconfidence sometimes produces disastrous results. The father and son took off from the tower and began flying over the sea towards Sicily in their men-made wings. Despite Daedalus' warning, Icarus soared higher and higher. Apparently, he believed his wings gave him godlike powers. The wax inevitably melted. Foolish Icarus plummeted into the sea. He drowned and never reached Sicily. Atalanta. Although Greek heroes were overwhelmingly men, there's one woman that deserves a place in this list, Atalanta. She grew up wild and free, able to hunt as well as a man. When an angry Artemis sent the Caledonian boar to ravage the land in revenge, Atalanta was the hunter who first pierced the beast. She is also said to have sailed with Jason, the only female on the Argo. But she is perhaps best known for vowing to marry the first man who could beat her in a foot race. Using 3 golden apples, Hippomenes was able to distract the swift Atalanta and win the race, and her hand in marriage. Bellerophon. Bellerophon is known for his capturing and taming the wild-winged stallion Pegasus, something said to be impossible. With divine assistance, Bellerophon succeeded in riding the horse and set out to slay the chimera that menaced Lycia. Having slain the beast, Bellerophon's fame grew until he became convinced that he was not a mortal but a god. He tried to ride Pegasus to Mount Olympus, which so enraged Zeus that he caused Bellerophon to fall to earth and die. Odysseus. A crafty and capable warrior, Odysseus was the king of Ithaca. His exploits in the Trojan War were documented by Homer in the Iliad and further in the Odyssey, which chronicled Odysseus' 10-year struggle to return home. During that time, Odysseus and his men faced numerous challenges, including being kidnapped by a Cyclops, menaced by sirens, and finally shipwrecked. Odysseus alone survives, only face additional tests before finally returning home. Cadmus. Cadmus was the Phoenician founder of Thebes. After failing in his quest to find his sister Europa, he wandered the land. During this time, he consulted the oracle of Delphi, who ordered him to cease his wanderings and settle in Boeotia. There, he lost his men to a dragon of Ares. Cadmus killed the dragon, planted its teeth and watched as armed men, the Sparto, emerged from the ground. They fought each other down to a final 5, who helped Cadmus found Thebes. Cadmus married Harmonia, daughter of Ares, but suffered from guilt for having slain the war god's dragon. As repentance, Cadmus and his wife were transformed into snakes.